right, folks, welcome in here for a Mount Polumbus Speaks all 22 film session as we break down the Thursday night football game against the Las Vegas Raiders. That was freaking ugly. That was ugly. But you know what? This is an 8-2 football team, and I went to bed last night ticked off at how bad things were offensively for the Broncos. Obviously, defensively, things have been great for a while. But I went to bed last night ticked off. I was frustrated with the game. I felt mentally exhausted watching such bad football. And I woke up, hey, 8-2 is 8-2, man. And those are the type of seasons that you dream of. I mean, you literally dream of having seasons that you start out the season 8-2. So, look, there's a lot of bad stuff, and there's no avoiding the film as we dive into this thing here. You're going to see it all. There's going to be a lot of bad stuff for us to look into. But I do think that every now and then you just got to take a step back and, hey, let's focus on the positive. Let's focus on this team being 8-2. And if we just build on something, find something offensively, maybe this team could have a chance of doing something special this year. But the reality is Bo Nix was terrible. The reality is the Broncos offense was hot garbage. Bo's got to play better football. And there's no getting around that. Sean Payton's got to do a better job as a play caller. So anyways, we'll dive into the all 22 here. Without any further ado, let me get my screen changed over. There we go. And we're ready to rock and roll. Broncos had to start out with their first possession on the 2-yard line. That punt, I would love to have seen a review of that punt because I sure thought that ball went into the end zone, but nobody challenged it. Nobody looked at it. Honestly, I thought this was a pretty good start for the Broncos. When you're starting on the 1.5, 2-yard line, they had 2 decent runs to start out the game. Your real goal, I'm going to pause it right here. Your real goal when you're backed up in a situation like this is to get a first down. That's honestly what the goal is offensively. If you can get a first down, that means that you gave your punter proper room to actually get a proper punt. Hopefully you can flip the field. If you get 2 first downs when you're backed up, that's a good drive. Obviously, if you march 98 yards down the field and score a touchdown, that's miraculous. But your real goal is just get enough breathing room for your punter to be able to attempt to flip the field. So Broncos come out, we're in heavy personnel. Mercedes Lewis, the 41-year-old tight end, is on the field for the Broncos with the first snap. You've got 2 tight ends, and we're going to go with, what do we got here? Let me look. Well, it looks like we got a gap scheme going on, so we're gonna double team here, double team there, up to there. We're gonna be man on. This guy's gonna shift over, so we're gonna end up helping back out there. But this is a good run to start out the game. When you're backed up and you gain 5, 6, 7 yards, that is a very successful run. J.K. Dobbins did not get nearly enough touches in this game. There's no getting around it. The Broncos have got to give him more touches. Sean Payton has got to be more committed to the running game in the early going. It's really as simple as that. Second run of the game is pretty nice here as well. We're going to get this ball outside rather than try to take it up the middle. We're going to bounce this ball outside, and it's going to leave you at the 3rd and 3 when this one's all said and done. Wind was bad all night long. You can see the ball got moved by the wind right there. That factored into things. Hopefully that was the reason why Crawshaw was so bad as a punter in that game. Maybe we can give him an excuse because of the wind. You got Frank Crum checked in as the extra tackle over here. 73 reporting eligible. You see that ball move? That wind was freaking blowing. Great job on the front side for Mike McGlinchey and Frank Crum. This is good-looking stuff right here, okay? Shoot. Hold on. Sorry. Let me get the proper buttons. Okay, so we got a double team between 73 and 68, and I love this. 73 is going to post. He's going to plant that inside arm up because this defensive end crashes just a little bit. He's able to get on a great line and get up to the second level. Mike McGlinchey does a great job of getting his hat past the midline and taking over this defender. And then all we need is a decent block right here, and you've got everything you want for a decent front side run. Dobbins bounces that ball way outside. Another decent run. So now it's 3rd and short, and Broncos are going to elect to run the ball 3 straight times. Unfortunately, we're going to come up short of the line of gain here. I don't mind the fact that Sean tried to run the ball again for the 3rd play in a row. Listen, you just heard me clamor that they got to run the ball more. The first 2 plays of the game were pretty good running the football, so I don't mind Sean trying to run it again. I know some fans were frustrated with the lack of creativity with the first series, but I understand why he tried to do it. Okay, so we got a simple open side zone concept here, right? So we got to push to the front side because we got no fullback in the game. So all of our double teams got to push all the way to the play side. So you got a single block on the front side, you got a B block on the back side to here, and then you got a C or a D block back here to the safety. Gosh, that's pretty good stuff there from Mike McGlinchey. Watch your right tackle, number 69. Watch how much movement he gets on that down lineman. He hits him right in the hip, moves him out of the hole. Gosh, if Adam Troutman, if 82, look at your tight end on the right side of your screen, if he could have just gotten a more effective block there, if he could have sealed his guy off, there should have been a great lane for Dobbins to run through right there. But unfortunately, Max Crosby's a pretty damn good football player, and he just beats Troutman to the inside and blows up the play in the backfield. So Broncos do not end up getting a first down on the first series, nor do they end up getting a first down on very many series at all in this entire game. They go 3 and out, and they are going to fall behind by 7 points to the Raiders early on in the first quarter. Bo was just not very sharp. You know, even this pass, which is was this a completion? Yeah, it was. Even this pass, which was a completion, good job by Courtland Sutton getting his feet down. You can see this ball is in a very good placement. I mean, Courtland's got to go up and grab that thing, get 1-2 feet down. Bit of a miracle grab, bit of a circus grab on what should have been a pretty mundane throw. Okay, this one was frustrating. Now, I'll give Bo Nix credit for this. The young quarterback does not take very many sacks. He does good job getting rid of the ball. But I remember getting frustrated in real time watching this because I'm doing my podcast. I'm looking at this pass protection, and look at that. I'm saying out loud, look at the pass protection. Great pass protection from the Broncos offensive line. And it was great pass protection from the Broncos offensive line. Bo Nix has got to have a clock in his head. And if he's going to step up anywhere, step up in the pocket, brother. Step up. Let's go. Climb up into this sucker right here. Go on up in here. Hop 1-2. Find a receiver. Instead, we're going to try to sneak out of the backside. These guys are going to run a late game, and we're going to run it right into them. But that was great protection from the offensive line. Bo's got to get rid of the ball. Again, I don't know why Bo is trying to escape the pocket here. I mean, you guys tell me. Does this look like a pretty good NFL pocket to you? That looks like a great NFL pocket to me. If you got to buy yourself some time, climb on up into this sucker. Just step up. Have a little bit of patience. Instead, we're gonna try to sneak out the front side of this thing. You're gonna make life difficult on Mike McGlinchey because he's not gonna be able to close enough ground between him and his defender. And then Bo Nix is gonna have to throw an awkward sidearm throw to Evan Ingram, and we're gonna end up getting an incompletion. But trust the pocket. I mean, that's as good as it gets in the NFL. That's a good looking pocket, man. Trust that sucker. I have no clue why he takes a step out to run like that right there. All he's doing is making life difficult on him. Now, listen, to be fair, does Evan Ingram need to catch that ball? Hell yeah, he does. So it's a two-way street. Bo Nix can make it a little bit easier on himself, and then Evan Ingram's got to catch the football. It hit him right in the hands. You get paid to catch the football. Catch the damn ball. Another 3 and out. Awesome. How about that? How about that? We're already into the second quarter. That's how nuts the first quarter was, man. I mean, I've showed you guys what, a total of 6 football plays on the offensive side for the Broncos, something like that. And we're already into the second quarter. The Raiders were dominating the time of possession. The Raiders were dominating basically every category in the early goings of this game. Like this ball, even. Look at how every ball from Bo is just dying. It's just diving into the dirt. We'll see from the other angle if it looks a little bit better. But for I don't know what's going on with Bo's mechanics. I know the footwork is super sloppy, but I can't explain why every ball that he throws looks like it's dying into the ground by the time it gets to the receiver. I mean, the mechanics don't look too terrible on that one. It's just makes for an awkward catch for your receiver when that ball is going down towards the ground like that. All right, good looking run here from RJ Harvey. They're not going to all be home runs. You got to be satisfied with 5, 6 yards in the NFL. We got an open side run. So again, we got to push to the play side. So our double team right here, this backer, we're going to count him as in the box. All right. So it's really a 3-man box, not the cleanest box you're looking for when you're running this play. But we got to push that sucker all the way to there. On the B on the backside, we got to get on our high horse. That was actually a bad example. But on the B on the backside, we got to get on our high horse to get our hat play side on that dude. Pretty good job on the B block between 77 and 69. I like that. I don't necessarily love the single block between 63 and 60. I'd like to see 63 get his feet going forwards. He's going lateral too much. And honestly, I think he loses track of who his guy is. I mean, you guys tell me what's going on this throw. You got everything you want with Cortland Sutton. Boom. He's got great separation down here. I mean, Cortland's got a couple yards between him and the defender. Bo Nix is just going to sail this ball all the way over his head, and pretty lucky that where that ball lands, it doesn't end up in the hands of that defensive back. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to kick a dead dog here, man. And I know it gets old hearing the same thing over and over, but when you watch this film, it is just so god, it's so god ugly, man. This is butt ugly film. Bo has got to play better football than that. I mean, that that's totally inexcusable for an NFL franchise quarterback to have a ball that is that far over his receiver's head on what is a simple, I don't know, what was that, a 5, 6 yard route? Okay, credit to Bo on this one though. This one's a further throw. He does end up finding his man Troy Franklin. This is gain of 13 yards. Great pocket from the offensive line. However, it was not enough to get the first down. So Broncos are going to act like they're going to go for this on fourth down. They're going to hurry up to the line of scrimmage. You got to give the defense time to sub. They did not have time to sub. Raiders are going to take their sweet ass time. Number 9 is going to walk out the field. Pete Carroll's yelling at him. Broncos are going to go with the dummy count. There's no snap. So when you get in the huddle on this play, you say, "Hey boys, no snap, no snap, no snap." Don't be the idiot that jumps off sides on this one. Everything we're doing is fake. So it doesn't matter what I get to. It doesn't matter what I say at the line of scrimmage. Red 80 said, "Hut, go, go." Hey, fellas, jump. I mean, you can say whatever the hell you want. Whatever you do as an offensive lineman, you do not move. You're simply trying to get the defensive line from the Raiders to jump off sides, see if you can get a free first down. Raiders were disciplined, though. They do not jump off sides. Broncos are forced to punt the ball away, and Jeremy Crawshaw shanks another one for the Broncos. Wow, life's not easy when you start backed up like this on two different drives in the first half. First one was on like the 2-yard line. This one's on the 1-yard line. I do like going play action when you're backed up like this. It gives you a better chance of getting a shot down the field. They don't necessarily take a shot down the field, but they go play action for a decent little gain. I don't like running the football right up the gut in this situation. I know that's what a lot of people do on Madden or whatever. You got to get creative down here as a play caller. So good play on first down. Second down, Troy Franklin. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. I know the Broncos run as many bubble screens as any team in the NFL, and we're all sick and tired of seeing them. But Troy just drifts right into the defender here. Is that Pep? No, that's Trent Sherfield. Sherfield's actually got a pretty good block going on there. Put your foot in the ground right now, and let's let Trent Sherfield take this, dude. We're going to get a decent little block right there. Put your foot in the ground, cut back inside just a little bit, and you got an alleyway. Instead, we drift right into the defender that's got a good block going on, and he's able to make the tackle despite Trent Sherfield's best efforts. So now we got third and short again. Bo Nix was thinking about trying to run this ball. I do think that Bo Nix could have been more decisive in what he wanted to do here, but actually, I mean, given the pressure, first off, not the best of pockets, but good enough to give Bo time to scramble out. He can't run it like he wants to. Doesn't have time to set his feet. In the big picture, that's a pretty dang good throw for the pressure that he's under. And Evan Ingram drops another ball. Is it an easy catch? No. Will some wide receivers in the NFL drop that? Yes. Will the great ones catch it? Yes, they will. Evan Ingram's getting paid a lot of money. Needs to come down with the ball. Good run from Dobbins. Come out with the full house backfield here. Dobbins has to put his foot in the ground because we have that end man on the line is unblocked. Bounces the ball outside. Nice gain. Broncos finally get a first down. Frank Crum, number 73, is reporting eligible. So he's your extra tackle in the game, playing the tight end position. Going to hand the ball off again, and we got a holding penalty. Adam Troutman, number 82. He's going to get called for a holding penalty. So we got 1st and 20 here. We're going to just dump it off to RJ Harvey. Gain of 2 yards. Let's see from the other angle if we got anything open down the field. Okay, is this the interception? This might be the interception. No. Not the interception. This is good looking football play right there. Bo Nix hits Pat Bryant, gain of 43 yards. Pat Bryant's coming along very nicely. Pat does not have a ton of yards or catches this year, but he's been a tremendous option in the running game. He's a very willing participant as a blocker. And when he has caught the ball, he's been very reliable. I'm a fan of Pat Bryant, and I'd love to see the Broncos continue to work his progression. Okay, another simple swing route here. I'm just going to skip it. Boring, ugly play. Bo does a good job with his eyes on this touchdown throw. Look at his progression. He's going to start. He's going to start looking at the right side of the field. He's going to bounce all the way back over to the left side, back to the right, and find Troy Franklin for an easy pitch and catch for the touchdown. Good job using your eyes on this one, Bo. I like that. Going to take a quick second here to pause for a read from my title sponsor, Mount Polumbus Speaks. Thank you to Safeway for being such an awesome partner of Mount Polumbus Speaks. There is a difference in where you shop. Safeway's got fresh foods, local flavors. They support local small businesses, so know that when you shop at Safeway, you're supporting local small businesses. Safeway has got an incredible app that if you don't have on your phone, you're missing out on. Make sure you download the Safeway app. Skip the other delivery service apps. Order directly from the Safeway app. You're going to save time. You're going to save money. They make it super easy to repeat your orders. That's what I do. I've got an order that I can repeat weekly, add 3 or 4 things to it. Literally takes me a minute and a half to get my total order in. If you want to get the food delivered to your door, hit send. That food will be at your doorstep before you bat your eye. Safeway's an incredible grocery store. Make sure you go check out your local store today. Safeway, fresh foods, local flavors. Okay, we'll wrap up the end of the first half here with a few more plays. This one's just like the story of the night. I mean, should be an easy pitch and catch. Tyler Bidet, this might be his first rep of the entire game. I'm not sure. He gets in there, gets his number called, got a quick little swing route out of the backfield. Got to catch the ball. between the penalties, the drops, the errant throws. I mean, this team, I've never seen a team get more penalties than Denver Broncos. This might be one of the most undisciplined football teams I've ever seen. The ways that this team is winning football games, overcoming penalties, overcoming drops, overcoming poor quarterback play. It honestly is amazing. And obviously, there's a lot of parallels to my 2015 team when the defense carried us all year long and offensively we were struggling. I tend to think that if you play with fire long enough, you're going to get burnt. We were an anomaly to that rule in 2015. Somehow we won a championship with a bad offense. But if this Broncos offense doesn't turn things around, it feels like they're headed for an early exit for the playoffs. This one is get called offensive pass interference on Pat Bryant. He just had a little baby push off with that left arm, but it was enough to get called. So we got a penalty there. We got a penalty on this one. We're going to get a false start from Mike McGlinchey. They probably could have called it on Bowles. They probably could have called it on a handful of different guys. Bowles is the one that ends up, not Bowles. McGlinchey is the one that went first, though, so his number gets called. Back-to-back penalties. Not good, boys and girls. Yikes. Very lucky we don't have another interception on this one. Look at that ball. And we are going to have an interception on this one. So back-to-back throws that could have been intercepted. The second one actually does get intercepted. I saw a lot of people saying that this one looked like the equivalent of a punt. I think that's being pretty generous to Bo. This is only second down. So sometimes you will get put in a situation as a quarterback on third down where you'll huck one up there and you'll say, well, if they intercept it, it's good as a punt. On second down, you still got to take care of the football. Bo just overthrows Troy Franklin by 5-6 yards, and the deep ball from Bo Nix to Troy Franklin continues to be one of the worst plays that the Denver Broncos have in their playbook. I don't know why that these two teammates from college cannot get on the same page on these deep balls, but they are never on the same page. I mean, these two are never on the same page on these deep throws. Well, that's it for the first half. So if you guys have not subscribed to Mount Polumbus Speaks, I know the majority of you guys watch on X. Hit that link in my bio. Go on over to YouTube and subscribe. It'll take you a total of 3 seconds. That's where all my content lives. And if you like the content I put out, just know that by subscribing and liking and commenting on that video over on YouTube, it does wonders for the algorithm. It helps me grow my channel, helps me stay inspired to put out content for you guys on the daily. I'll have the second half film out within 24 hours after the release of this one. Obviously, an ugly first half. I'll tell you right now, the second half ain't any better for the Broncos offense. But I do remind you, it's an 8-2 football team. It's a season that you dream of. If the Broncos could just clean some things up offensively, they got a chance of having a special year. But they got to clean it up, and they got to clean it up now because this has gone on for too long. Appreciate you guys joining me here on another Mount Polumbus